Welcome everybody to a new episode of Locked In Golden State Warriors podcast. I'm Brandon Ferino, joined by me is my special guest, Bashar from 49ers Minded. How we doing?
Doing great, man. It's funny. A lot of people lately have been saying 49ers minded, but it's actually 49er minded. But when people say 49ers minded, it just makes me laugh. But today, I guess it's Golden State minded. I actually did a Warriors show today. Then I just did a mock draft, and
Yes,
now I'm
sir.
here. I'm bouncing around all over the place, man. But I love it, man. Let's go Warriors. Let's get this W, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's go over the formalities real quick. If you guys haven't yet already, Twitter, Instagram. My Twitter name is GSW underscore podcast, and my Instagram page is locked in GSW podcast, spelled all the way out. YouTube, it, if you haven't had the link yet, I'm trying to get to 100 followers so I can have my own actual YouTube link. But that's my YouTube link right there, youtube.com/channel, and the rest of the words. But my Twitch channel, twitch.tv /locked in GSW podcast. So once again, guys, hit that like subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Um, Elias, what's going on, buddy? Sup, Bash? Go Warriors.
What up, Elias?
So let's get into it, man. Game 5 is tonight. Are we ready? Um, what do you expect from uh game 4 to game 5? Like, what do you expect better from the Dubs?
What this is what I'm hoping at least. I'm not sure what Kerr has in mind.
Right?
I was complaining about his lineups earlier today. I'm hoping that we see more. People talk about this death lineup, right? Which
Hmm.
is which has been making excellent perimeter shots, and we know how it is with that. But if you get my whole point was, especially the last game, it was irritating me that
Hmm.
we're running this small ball lineup, but yet we're totally we're totally letting the other team dictate the pace of the game.
Hmm.
We see Cousins backing it down, smashing it up in the middle. We see Jokic being Jokic, and it was taking me back to like the late early '90s and the '90s of NBA basketball when things were slowed down a bit, and I was like, well, if, we're this whole Steve Kerr idea of coming up with positionless basketball and speeding up the
Hmm.
game. It's like it was that element was completely out of there. It wasn't non-existent, and heck, if we played freaking Jonathan Kaminga possibly towards the end of the third quarter or beginning of the fourth quarter, at least somewhere during those later minutes, maybe we'd have won. I mean, Steve Kerr's lineups, this year have been very questionable in my opinion, despite our success. Now we have a lot of success, and I love the way that he does certain things, but I don't know. It worries me a little bit because obviously if we play Memphis coming up, Kaminga should be
Yeah.
playing. I just want to see I think guys like Kaminga and Gary Payton II, they deserve a lot more minutes.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure. I think Kaminga and Moses Moody should at least get some minutes in the playoffs, just so they get the the feel for playoffs basketball. To me personally, I think what like especially towards the end of game 4, uh, they came back, right, and you're hoping like they were gonna pull it off a sweep, but stupid mistakes. Number one was the turnovers cost us tremendously. That's number one. Number two is the fouls. The fouls were getting to us. Draymond fouled out towards the end of that game, which I think we really needed him to close out that game. Um, and I mean, I hate to be that person, but the refs called a lot of bullshit calls this last game, and I think they did it on purpose because I think the NBA still wants another game. They didn't want to sweep, right? Um, but that's me personally. But I think the defense needs to be better for sure this game tonight. Uh, they're starting like I said on your show earlier today with Cyrus. I think they're gonna start the lethal weapon lineup, which is Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green. So they're going small. Um, and then kind of pull in Kevon Looney, maybe even get Damon Lee in there too, since I mean Iggy's out for sure, right? He's gonna be out for a week, so I think that would be good. Um, I just I feel like with Kevon Looney going in there later will help out too because uh Boogie comes in later, and Looney being um on Cousins, I think that would help out with defense and everything as well. Um, what do you think, Bashar?
Yeah, who was the guy that you mentioned? Coming out to guard Cousins. I missed the name.
Kevon Looney.
Oh, Kevon Looney. Yeah, that's right. I don't
Yeah,
know why I
yeah,
missed that. Yeah, Looney had a bad game last week. No, sorry, the
yes.
past game on Sunday. So, does he
Mhm.
bounce back? Honestly, I've been Looney hated for quite some time, but I backed up though. I backed up, and this year actually Looney's played a lot better.
Yeah.
He's still not the rim shot. You know, He's a rim protector, shot blocker, type center, my ideal type, James Wiseman type center that I'd like to see out there. But within the system, he's been playing his best basketball of his career. Bottom line, and he does
Mhm.
need a bounce back game. Kerr needs to do better with the lineups.
Mhm.
As Bielitsa, he's not your prototypical big man at all. He's more of I call him the unathletic David Lee with a 3-pointer is what I call him.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But in those first 2 games, Bielitsa was looking good, and he was
Yeah.
he was giving them fits, especially on the offensive end of the ball. So it was nice to see that. And then Otto Porter Jr. has been helping out. I like having him around. So I just wish we had another. I'd love, I'm trying to think of the back of my head. Like, it's just Looney and a bunch of power forwards out there trying to guard these gigantic
These-
centers and
Yeah.
Cousins and Jokic. It doesn't make any sense, but the Steve Kerr finds a way to make it happen. Again, shout out to him. I know I get on him for his lineup changes from time
No,
to time, but
yeah,
you
it
know,
totally makes sense. I
uh,
mean, I don't blame you for, Kurt does have those certain mistakes that he does make. Like the first 2 games, like you said, the lineup that he started with and having Steph come off the bench, it seemed like it was working. Because I mean, those games we won by 20 points, right? So they tried again in game 3 and game 4. Game 3 did work. Game 4, I think the Nuggets started to get the hang of what they were doing, and that's why they were leading most of that game. Uh, so I mean, you can only do that lineup for so long because then the other team starts figuring that out, and then they're like, oh shit, like it's not working now, right? So I think changing up the lineup for sure from the start is going to help out as well. I think Steph and Clay, with their help with um, making buckets and not missing tremendously, like Kevin Durant and Kyrie did in their series. I think that would help out as well. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. Um, moving on, I want to get your take. What are your keys to the game tonight, to finally put this game in the bag and move on to the next round?
Okay, I want to touch on something really quick because you mentioned
Yeah,
Steph
yeah,
and
yeah.
Clay.
Go ahead.
Stephen Clay shot, despite the fact that we lost, they shot
Mhm.
the ball exceptionally well in the second
Hell
half of
yeah,
the game
dude.
in the fourth quarter. Some amazing highlight shots. Too bad we lost the game, but I mean, those are
Mhm.
some highlights that you can play, man, play for quite some time, and people will get some entertainment out of those highlights. And shout out to Cyrus. Cyrus saw as I had him on earlier today for
Yes,
the Lockdown
sir.
Warriors podcast. Has a show with Rick Barry. Does the Rick Barry show? Great Warriors
Mhm.
and analyst, one of the better ones out there, in my opinion. And he's always on the Larry Krueger YouTube channel as well. Check him out. But yeah, Cyrus was calling it, the splash party. We went from the Splash Brothers, and then he got pool party, but he combined it and called splash party. So the splash party,
Yeah.
obviously, we need pool kind of had a down game, right? So we need to
Mhm.
see the real Jordan Poole today. The real pool party.
Mhm.
Get it ready, baby. Get your sunscreen going for that pool party, man. Let's do it. Get the beers out, get your inner
Yes, sir.
tubes, and get the ladies in the bikinis, whatever, man. Whatever you got, whatever you need for that pool party. But yeah,
Mhm.
no, I mean, just a fast, like I was mentioning earlier with Cyrus, like earlier in the season, what did we see when GP2 was out there a lot in the rotation? They gave him healthy minutes in the rotation, and then
Mhm.
boom, it was just like fast break city, all kinds of breakaway dunks, and then even when Kaminga was in the lineup, you'd see the same thing. And I want to see the fast pace. That's what I really want to see. And as far as shooting from the perimeter so far, hey, our teams look great. And the one thing I want to mention that I saw in the first two games, especially in the second game, because it was in the second quarter of the Nuggets game
Yeah.
of game two, and we were down. We were down, but I was sitting there. I was in awe because the ball movement was so fluid. Everybody knew they were going to be. It was like an orchestra. It was excellent ball movement. I was like, if they keep moving the ball around like this and getting such easy shots, and they're hitting the shots the way they're hitting them, we have this game. And lo and behold, the Warriors blew it up in the second half, and we need to see that again, man. We just need that juice. We need that energy from Chase.
Hmm.
Let's do it, baby.
Make it like you said in your show earlier today. Make it like as if it was workable, right?
Make
Like
it just like Oracle. Yeah.
hmm you saw in game two, like that stadium was electric in game two. So if they could bring it back and do it again, it's gonna be phenomenal. I was hoping to go to this game. Not gonna lie.
Okay. Well, go the next series then.
Yeah, I found some tickets for like I think 119 or something like that. So I mean they're
I'd
not that
go. Not
expensive
bad.
right now. We should plan next series. We should plan to go together if you're down.
I might be if somebody is down the road with me. Because I'm not good at driving far distances. I'll be honest with you. I'm over in the northern Sacramento area, Roseville. But hey, whenever, man, if you got a good idea, just hit me up. I might say yes. So
Yeah, for sure, dude.
yeah.
Definitely. Um, so moving on, let's talk about defense. What do the Warriors need to do to stop Jokic and um 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 God, I can't think of his name. Aaron
Uh,
Gordon.
Aaron Gordon. You know what? Funny that you bring up Aaron Gordon because the last game he actually finally did something right
That's what I'm saying.
offensively. He
Mm-hmm.
finally did, and it seemed like shout out to the Nuggets that
Mm-hmm.
last game. Their backs were against the wall.
Yep.
Something told me, with Jokic being on their team, like sure, we definitely have the upper hand in this whole series, but something told me that they're gonna come to bring their A game on
Mm-hmm.
Sunday. What are we gonna do to stop them? And it was close, but we lost. So this time around, it's like we were frustrating the living daylights out of Jokic those first three games, man.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever recipe we used to do that, would it be Bielisa, Otto Porter Jr., those guys can hit the three. Yeah, man, we were making Jokic work, man, and
Yeah.
we can find a way to do that again. Now, Aaron Gordon was surprising me because I was thinking like the first three games I noticed this big time for somebody who's 6'8", 6'9",
Mm-hmm.
and I know he's a Bay Area kid, and I saw him once in real life over at the sports bar once. I didn't say what's up to him, but he was sitting with his friends. I didn't want to bother him. But he's a Bay Area kid. I get it.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm sorry, dude. If you're was 6'8", 6'9", and you're in dunk contests and you're showing you can do the craziest dunks, he had one of the best dunk contests, him and Zach LaVine I've seen in a long time. But my
Yeah, I
point is,
remember that.
I'll see Aaron Gordon underneath the basket just woof layups, just miss all kinds of easy. I was like, why isn't he taking it up for a dunk? Why, this guy is an explosive dunker. Maybe he has really bad stamina or something, or I don't know if he injured himself earlier this year, but he does not look like this explosive power forward who can leap out of the gym during games, at least. So I was surprised. I was like, has it always been
Mm-hmm.
like this? Or yeah. So I mean, that was a little side note, but yeah, I just want to see the intensity, man. I really wish we had a shot blocker coming off the bench. I was really hoping and praying for Wiseman to be involved in the playoff run, and he's not. And we didn't pick up anybody in
I
typical
know.
Warrior fashion.
Yep.
Bob Myers, excellent at drafting. We're looking
Yes.
like we're on the right track to even if Curry and Clay and
What's
whoever
up, Joey?
retire.
Locked in, baby.
What's up, Joey, Niners analyst? Good to see him. I'm a Niner fan too, so yeah. So I just love to see the intensity of this game, and we'll see, man. It's just hopefully Draymond Green cannot yell and argue with the refs every single damn play. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a game where he doesn't do that and he plays his game.
Yep. Exactly. Just real quick, if anybody's watching on Twitter, go ahead and go over to our YouTube channel because we cannot see your comments at all in the chat. So go over to our YouTube channel. It's a Locked In GSW podcast, just how it's spelled on the banner on top. So once again, Locked In GSW podcast. Please hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it for all your Warriors news. Yeah, but like I said, I just hope like Rasa said, refs won't be calling charges on Jaw at all. So let's talk about the refs. I hope it's uh, better and clean game this game tonight and compared to game four because there was a lot of bad calls that the refs did last game and even they even actually mentioned on that inbound that the Warriors got and they called it out of bounds on the Warriors and they called it for Denver's ball. I believe it was that um, towards the end of the game it was that throw into Wiggins in the paint and it was out of bounds. And then they called it was last touch by Wiggins, but it was actually last touch by the Nuggets ball. So I just hope the refs are better
Yeah,
tonight.
good thing I didn't watch the whole entire game. I actually was out of the house for a family function, so by the time I
Okay.
got home, the fourth quarter was just starting, and I did go back and watch the replays, not of the whole
Mhm.
game, but those 10-minute reels where you see all the important plays of the game. And
Yep.
unfortunately, well, I guess unfortunately, because I would have been pissed if I saw it, I didn't get to see all these bad calls that everybody was talking about, but everybody was telling me about it. That's for sure. I sure heard a whole lot about it. I guess it's better for my sanctity to say that I didn't see it, and then I hate bringing up the refs because whenever I
Me
try my
too.
best never to ever bring them up, even if it's a close game that we barely win. But it's sometimes every now and then it can be atrocious, and I can see where it can be nerve wracking for an NBA fan, especially for a Warrior
Yep.
fan. Every now and then you have those games where you play against certain teams, and then it's a whistle fest. The last time I can remember, not the last time, but let's say over the recent years, the time where blaming refs or just not to say blame, but just getting pissed off at the refs
Mm,
happened more so than anything was I believe it was one of the Cavalier games that we lost when it was the same series where Draymond got suspended. I remember
hmm
one of those games it was just like they were calling like Steph Curry would just breathe and they call a foul on him, and that really pissed me off. It just felt like they just called like every foul known to man on Curry
Yep.
just so he could ride the pine and not play in the game. But hey, it happens. Tim Donaghy was a former NBA referee, and all kinds of shady stuff happens behind the scenes. Unfortunately, you might want to assume it doesn't exist anymore, but it's probably still out there in some way, shape, or form. It still exists.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so what I was gonna ask you too is what is your what is your take on trying to stop Jokic? I know we kind of started talking about it, but I want to get like more into it because Jokic has
Yeah.
been having over 30 points the past like what 3 games now.
Yeah. One thing we could definitely do offensively, I know Cyrus mentioned this. Shout out to Cyrus again. And he hit on a great point because we were taking advantage of it like crazy. I think if
Hmm
we tire him out on the defense, on when we have the ball on his defensive end, tire him out on the defensive end.
hmm
Curry was running circles around Jokic. Jokic, for whatever
That's true.
reason, they had him trying to guard him from time to time, and hey, tire him out, and Bielitsa can hit the 3-pointer, Otto Porter Jr. can hit the three. They both
Hmm
can score in different ways, and baby Kaminga can play, and Jokic can get up
Yes.
on him, and Kaminga can roll right by him for a monster dunk. I mean, when Kaminga had that fast break and dunk, that was like Jordan-esque in my opinion. That was just like so awesome to see as a Warrior fan. And they even said after the game that he had the most points by anybody. It was like the youngest person to score the most points. So he scored like 9 points. I forgot what the
hmm
age range was, but it was between him, Kobe Bryant, and something else. But Kaminga was at the top of the list, and he could have easily blown that record apart. He won, he has the record for it, but he could have scored a whole lot more points had he played more. But I just want to see Kaminga. I'm a huge advocate for him. Love his defense. He does make rookie mistakes from time to time, but he can attack the basket unlike any player that we've had on this team for ages. I can't think of anybody who can attack the basket as good as he does, and it's been a long
Yep.
time since we ever had a player like that. But we got
Yep.
to take advantage of it. Come on, Steve Kerr. I hope you're watching.
Yes, exactly. I want to get back to what Raza said. So I think Poole should have gotten the most improved player over Jaw and 100 times. But it is what it is. I think Jordan Poole has improved tremendously, and he's worked his ass off the past 2 years. He did amazing in the G League, and he brought it up to the NBA roster. And I mean, look at him now, dude. This season he was tremendous. Especially when Steph was down and hurt, he stepped up, and he honestly, like I think I told a couple of my friends, I'm like, I see um a little bit of Stephen Curry and Jordan Poole.
I see a taller Stephen Curry as well. I've seen it a few times. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot which exact game it was, but there was some game when he was deep in 3-point land and
Yeah,
just shot it up with
yeah,
confidence, and he hit it just like Curry would. And I was like, dang, whatever Curry has taught him over these past couple of years, or whatever,
yep.
or maybe just him, just not say Curry teaching, but just him, surveying and and what's the word? Not witnessing, but just him like watching Curry and focusing on what he does and him trying to emulate it. That's probably what he did. So
Mm-hmm.
how many young NBA players in this league have the luxury of being playing next to a Hall of Famer like Curry, and they can watch and try to mimic what they do. So
Yes,
and
sir.
Jordan Poole, wow, maybe it was game two. He had that game two, I think. He had that amazing underneath reverse, man. They actually, if I could ever find it on Instagram, I'll try to send it to you. I saw like a side by side clip of like Jordan do that same type of underneath reverse for where Jordan's is amazing. It's
Hey.
perfect. Not saying that Jordan Poole looked like Michael Jordan on this, but it was really similar. If you see the two side by side, the way the two players jumped and the way he went underneath both of them was really nice, man. And I didn't even know that Jordan Poole had that in him. I would have never known. And when Jordan Poole first came to the team, I thought he was trash. And I was
Really?
like, why did we draft this guy? When we first got him,
Wow.
not until when he his second year when they brought him to the G League, and
Mm-hmm.
then he came back. Then I was like, okay, he looks a lot better now. Then I not that's when I saw a huge jump
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah. Joey says Poole is a better and more controlled Nick Young. I totally agree. I mean, you saw Nick Young when he was on the Warriors too a couple years ago. Um,
I think that's a
he
disrespect to Jordan Poole comparing him to Nick Young.
Yeah, I mean, but Jordan Poole's like 100 times better than Nick Young. We can say that without a doubt.
Swaggy
But
P was it Swaggy P?
yeah, Swaggy P. Look at he's not even in the league anymore.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
surprised.
but to me personally, I think Jordan Poole should have won Most Improved Player this year for sure. Um, and I mean, like you just kind of wonder. It's like he's like Raza said, it's kind of political. But it's like, dude, Jaw was freaking rookie. He won rookie of the year. So how is he most improved when he won rookie of the year? You know what I mean? So that's, but whatever. It is what it
What a
is. It's
week!
done.
What a week! What a, that's so. Don't even have the award then if you're gonna do
I
that.
know exactly.
It's like
You.
just give him the sophomore of the year award while you're at it.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well just done that because to say most improved. How's he most improved? Improved from what?
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. But I mean, like I said, it is what it is. But I mean, how do you think? Uh, because we've seen Jordan Poole the past 4 games now. Um, how do you see Jordan Poole progressing as playoffs or go on?
So Jordan Poole. I mean, it'd be hard for me to say that he's gonna be a lot better than what we've seen already. Well, I love what I see right now. Is what I'm trying to say, though. In general, he's brought in
Yeah.
that
Oh hell yeah.
elements and aspects to his game that I didn't even know he had, and I watched him during the season too. And and there were times towards the end of the season when we didn't have our full squad and guys were
Hmm.
hurt, and
And he stepped up.
there were games where he had big numbers, and
Hmm.
part of me just thought, oh, okay, well, whatever, those other dudes were out, so he had to pick up the slack, but we lost or whatever. But no, this guy legitimate has changed parts of his game, and I just want more consistency from him.
Oh
Down
yeah.
game the last game, and not that I
Hmm.
demand perfection from the
No,
kid, but
he
what
was struggling.
I love what I see so far. Just the consistency. If we get the
Hmm.
consistency from him, I don't see how this team has any problem advancing forward in the playoffs. I don't.
I agree. I totally agree. I would like to see him. I think also too with last game, I feel like the Nuggets figured him out finally, and that's why he had a poor game as well. Um, but that could just be me. I don't know. Well, I mean, do you think the Nuggets finally figured him out that last game?
May could have been, but something just tells me it's just he just may have just had that one off night. Just
Yeah,
it
that could
happens.
be
It
it too.
happens
Yeah.
to everybody. So
Yeah, I totally agree. Um, and then another thing is, uh, with the help of Poole out there as well, will leave a open Steph Curry, a open Klay Thompson. Um, Also, too, is we need to make sure Draymond Green doesn't um get too many fouls tonight.
Yeah, I told you he shouldn't pile up the reps and get damn technicals off of that dumb crap that he
Yeah.
does.
Like, well, you saw the last game, beginning of the game, where him and Aaron Gordon got into it, right? And I think they both didn't they both get both technicals? I believe they
I think
did.
it
I don't
was. I think it
remember
was. Yeah.
exactly, but yeah, stuff like that. Like he just needs to control his uh his anger.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. He
um,
needs to take anger management classes or something. I
yeah.
don't know.
I mean,
It's been
he's
way too long, and we've been
yeah.
talking about this for how long with the
Yep.
guy? I mean, oh,
Forever, forever. I think he's gotten better this year for sure. Um, but he needs some work on it. But I love the defense he's been playing this series for sure. I mean, it hypes up the crowd, it hypes up the players, and you just see a whole different um groove with the players when Draymond is like killing it on defense.
and with me and Draymond, like I can care less how many points he scores. I care less
Yeah, me neither.
how many fans from other fan bases.
Hmm.
Oh, he sucks. He only scored six. Oh, you guys won, but Draymond only scored 6 points in that game. But did you watch the game? No, no. I just read the stat line. Okay, watch the game.
Yep.
Cyrus said it again. I'm an eye test guy in football and basketball. With Draymond, he passes the eye test. And when certain things pass the eye test, they're not going to show up on the damn stat sheet. I don't even know if you can create a stat for some of those things that he does. It's not
Mm-mm.
about the numbers. It's about the impact that person makes on the floor. It's about creativity. Sorry, about chemistry. Chemistry is
Yes.
huge. And
Yes.
this team, the experience this team has, the chemistry they have, it's priceless. It's not something you can write down on a stat sheet. It's just not,
Hmm.
and compare with the next guy or whatever. It's just certain things. Now, is he perfect? No, obviously, sure. I'd love for him to be a bit more aggressive offensively.
Yeah.
He's got a decent post up game.
Yep.
He's not the greatest shooter, but every now and then he can make an open three. Draymond's Draymond. Just I was going to say back to Steph though. You were
Hmm.
talking about Steph earlier, and there was a point I wanted to make. I don't know why I'm forgetting it right now. I really wanted to make up this good point about him. What were you saying about Steph earlier? You said something that will remind me. You just said about Steph and Clay
Um,
right
basically,
before Draymond.
it opens. What I was saying
I
is
remember.
for Jordan Poole. Yeah,
I remember
that
what
it was open up
Okay,
Steph
there
and
you go.
Clay.
Exactly. Perfect. How long has it been? And I forgot about this, and certain people brought it up. Like, I was so frustrated seeing Stephen Curry getting freaking double teamed at the 3 point
Hmm.
line. At times,
Exactly.
triple team, three guys on Steph Curry. But
Hmm.
then some people want to hate on Steph Curry and say he's overrated, overhyped. I was like, hold on, does your favorite player ever have three guys guarding him at once? Because mine does.
Right.
And it's
Right.
happened multiple
Right.
times. But now with the addition of Poole, we don't see that as much. And Curry can actually breathe. And hey, that's
Yes.
awesome. So you made an excellent point right there. I don't know why I forgot to add the second part, but it
Yeah.
eventually came to mind. So thanks for reminding me.
What I also wanted to point out from last game too is nobody really noticed this, but I think it was towards the end of the fourth quarter. I can't remember if it was Jordan Poole or Steph Curry. Um, One of them broke uh um Jokic's freaking ankles, man. That shit was funny as hell. Did you see that?
Towards the end. I
Yeah.
mentioned this on my previous show. Okay, so I do remember it. It was towards like from the TV viewing side. It was towards
Yes.
the left wing, like
Mm-hmm.
the corner, almost like the corner of the 3 point land, but a little bit inwards.
Yep.
And Steph was dribbling, boom, boom, boom,
Mm-hmm.
boom, 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 and then Jokic jumped backwards like it's almost like a cat jumped at him.
Like
Jokic
he
jumped backwards and
yeah.
simultaneously Curry jumped backwards and went whoop and
Yep.
just drilled it. It was a sick play. It was so funny to
Mm-hmm.
watch.
Dude, that was awesome. Like,
That was my
you
favorite
know,
play of the whole game, minus
yeah,
the Kaminga dunk.
like I said, I don't think anybody really noticed it. Only a certain amount of
When I
people.
went
Like,
back and watched that, I didn't notice it live, and I saw it live. I did see that,
mm-hmm.
but when I went back and watched the highlights yesterday and watched the full game highlights, then I noticed, and I kept rewinding it. Dude, that was one of the funniest plays. Why don't they make a meme out of that?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was so funny the way Jokic jumped out of it. It's like he was scared or something. It was hella funny, dude.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna end it like pretty soon
Game's
here.
coming up. We gotta end it.
Yeah,
We gotta
game.
watch the
Yeah,
game, right?
yeah. We
Watch
got
the game.
15 minutes. 15 minutes. So
Let's go. Let's get this
so
W, baby.
real quick. Who is your top scorer for tonight, and who wins, and by how many?
Top scorer. Let me give a huge shout out to my boy Clay Thompson, baby. Love his Clay's comeback. Awesome. I think Clay. I love Clay, man, because I remember after game 3, and they were
Mm-hmm.
interviewing Jordan Poole or whatever, and then there's just like Clay. Clay comes in out of nowhere and
Mm-hmm.
hugs Jordan Poole, and he's like, "It's a pool party. It's a pool party." Like Clay
Yes.
Thompson is every Warriors fan combined into one person. That's who
Yes.
Clay Thompson is. I mentioned on the previous show how I feel like Clay is one of the fans, and it's just I think today's his day, baby. Let's do it. Come on, Clay.
Yeah.
Let's be the leading score. How much we win by? I say we win by 15. Let's get this W. Close them
All
out.
right. And
Send the
like,
Nuggets home packing, baby.
yes, sir. And also, Clay rolled in with in a bike today too.
There you go. See, he's always doing funny
Right.
things. Clay
So
is my favorite. He's my favorite. He's a shit.
yeah. So Joey, I was actually talking about this in your show earlier with Cyrus. Pe People got different names for this starting five, but I think I'm gonna stick with the lethal five. What about you, Bashar?
The Lethal Five. Do I? Oh, so you gave a name. I know
Yeah.
Cyrus said Splash Party, but I think not sure if Cyrus was saying Splash Party for the 3, or was he saying for the 5? Because I like his name the best. Assuming he means all the start of
Yeah.
the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Destiny says Super Splash Bros.
The only thing I could come up was the Furious Five. the Furious
Oh
Five.
yeah, the Furious Five. I saw that one
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Oh,
That one
somebody
was
else said
good.
that. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's saying Super Splash
There's
Bros. The
there's a
Splash.
lot.
Yeah. So some people don't want to say that Jordan Poole's a Splash brother yet. Hey, what's up, Artur? How you doing, bro? Welcome. He's a Steelers fan, Lakers fan, great dude. Really, really passionate about sports. He has a good channel, man. Check him out.
Nice.
Really nice guy, by the way. Yeah,
Awesome.
man. It's just there's all kinds of little nicknames out there, and some people don't want to, initiate Jordan Poole as a Splash brother yet. They don't think he's earned it yet, but if he hasn't earned it yet to those guys, he will. He'll do a whole lot more and earn it to those fans who are denying him, in my opinion. And yeah,
Hmm.
he's definitely a Splash brother, in my opinion.
Yes, sir. Totally agree. Destiny said the Hampton Five.
The Hampton Five. Oh yeah, yeah.
Now Arthur says, "How's everything, bro?" For our faithful and Bashar, great to see y'all.
Yeah, man. Artur's really nice guy.
Thanks for tuning in, man. We really appreciate it. Um, so I think we're gonna end it here. I think I'm gonna get my take real quick. I think Steph has a game. I think he scores 35. Um, and Clay probably gets 29. And Poole, I'm gonna say 27. Um, like they did the other game. I think it was game 3.
Yeah,
And then I think they're gonna win by 20 again, like they did the first like 3 games. Um, and then also too, uh, I think Chase Center is gonna be wilding today. They're gonna be
yeah. We need
lit.
Chase Center to be lit. Definitely.
I cannot wait. But other than that, we're gonna end it here, guys. So if you guys haven't yet already, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you guys are having trouble finding our channel on YouTube, it's locked in GSW Podcasts, just the way it is up top on the banner. Um, Twitter, it's GSW underscore podcast. Instagram locked in GSW podcast, all the way spelled out. We're trying to grow this channel, so please help us out. We really appreciate it. Once we get to 100 followers, we'll be able to put in our actual YouTube website. It's the way YouTube works for some reason. I don't know.
Oh yeah, where you can put in the
Yeah.
YouTube.com locked in pocket. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
let me do 49 reminded after a certain amount of subscribers. I think yeah, right when I hit 100, it let me do it. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you being on the show, man. Thanks for having me on, dude.
Yeah,
Been a
no
wild day
problem.
for me.
Yeah, Bashar, and I think we might have a post game after, or maybe tomorrow. So if you want to get on then too, just let me know. My co-host will be on too as well.
Okay, sounds good.
So, once again, guys, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And until the game, this game is over, go Dubs.
Let's go.